Can you explain what an isolation raise in poker is?
So an isolation raise is when you're isolating a limper. So you're basically putting in a raise when someone's limped to force other players out of the pot behind.
So how important is using an isolation raise for your win rate at the table?
I would say it's pretty important because you want to maximize the value of your strong hands. So you obviously want to put in more money in the pot when you have a strong hand.
So for the nitty gritty, what are you looking for when you're deciding whether or not to isolation raise, and also the size of it? What kind of factors come into that?
Well, going back to the hand strength, it's pretty much depends on that. You know, some hands you might not want to isolation raise and just limp behind because you want to see a flop, because your hand benefits more from seeing a flop with multiple players. And other times, if you have pocket aces, for example, you might just want to put as much money in there as possible and charge people for seeing a flop.
All right, so you've made your isolation raise and it's been called. So what are some tips for our viewers for how to play post-flop?
Well, first off, it depends how many players respected your isolation raise. If it's multi-way, you obviously got to be more conservative because you're up against more hands and more opponents. But if it's heads up, it's it's all depending on your opponent and what type of hand range you think he's on.